Howdy and welcome all to the Shadow Demon Voidcast. I'm your host, Shadow Demon. Today we're going to be continuing my playthrough of Backpack Survivors. Currently going to attempt to run on Hellfire 2 difficulty. And out of there, Snow Princess, welcome to the stream. Started off just like usual. Need bags. Blunt mace in there. And grab that for a little bit of extra damage. And then just use some rerolls to try and find other bags for the next time I go into the shop. Alright. I want to try and find a chest quickly before I hit the shop. There we go. Perfect. And a magnetize. So, howdy, Fleet King. Backpacking is going well so far. We'll snag the extra armor. And see what boots they turn into. And snag that for a little bit of extra luck. You know what? That's 2 space. That gives me a third weapon. Will help because I will be slightly slower than I would like to be. Excellent. Now I just have to murder everything. I'm going to get that merge off. 50 health, base damage, dash, and speed per fire tag. Alright, so I'm going to try and pick up some fire-based stuff. Gotta go fast, I guess. I'm going to lock the helmet. It's like... Actually, yeah, because I can't afford it, but I can rearrange my bag slightly and be ready to transform the fire into the fire helmet. Does your death counter say 0, lol? Oh, yeah, I got the wrong one active. Oops. That is from a different game where I was positioned slightly differently. This is the one I'm looking for. I don't have a death tracker active on this game. Mostly because it's death equals failed run. And there's lots of failed runs. I know the Blazing Soul Pendant is really good. But I will save that for later once I have some actual fire weapons. Snag the extra bag. Definitely locking the chest. And that. I'm going to go for the fire tongue with the greatsword. I'm going to need lots of the fire potions. Yeah. Luckily, right now I've got high enough armor that I can just kind of run through these guys. But later levels, I will not be able to do that. Alright. Just going to slightly rearrange. I need one more. Okay. And I will need a bunch of the flamecraft potions. Nothing useful there. Snag the tiny bag. And I'm going to grab the ring of health. Ooh, this is an early good thing to have early. I don't need those in just yet, even though they would boost my speed. That'll get me some nice gold. And lock those bags. All right. Just keep trying to kill all of them. Just need to spawn the shop again. Definitely filling out the bag space. Out of curiosity, flame forged boots. See if I can get some more fire tags, get this game spawning me fire stuff. Alright. So now, the one item I bought guarantees an epic item in the next shop. So I gotta earn a bunch of money real quick before I head into the next shop, just in case it's a fire weapon. Snag the ring of, or the altar of power, just so I can drop some of these guys a little faster. Alright. Oh wait, it spawns one. Cool. Well, the lightning sword is better than the wooden sword. And it boosts that somewhat. Lesser Band of Fury's good. I need fire damage, though. No. I can now huck sticks of dynamite at people. And now I no longer need any bags. There we go. I don't even think that's scary when you say that. uh, I know what I'm doing around explosives. Don't worry about it. Damn. Out of rerolls. I'm gonna freeze that. Out of curiosity. Yeah, I will get that. So. And here comes the Beetle Beast Lord. Now I just gotta outrun him and hopefully defeat him quickly. There we go. First boss down. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch of dashing, so the dash core is probably the best one of those, since I don't have holy, and I'm in no position where I can stand still for extra crit multiplier. Excellent. I can upgrade the axe into the ethereal shuriken, which is this thing. I'm gonna snag the broken wand because I can turn that into a I can turn that into a fire weapon. Yeah, we're gonna take the guaranteed epic weapon at the next shop. Ring of Greed is good. I will take that. It's energy. That's not really helpful. It's holy damage. Armor and fire. Yeah. Looking for very specific things at this point. They're all common items, so I don't want to boost my luck too high. Damn. Alright, let's see if I can find a treasure chest. Ooh, greed goblin. Or whatever this thing is. Pot of gold on legs. I'm actually going to move the key to there to boost this thing. Actually going to banish that because I don't do anything with the holy right now. And just try to get more fire stuff in the potions. These flamecraft potions. Alright. Going to sell the mace. And probably turn this either into a frost wand or a fire wand. Probably go fire because there's some later items that boost both fire and cold. Just need 2 more? 1 more. But I am out of rerolls. And we're going to get the first merge off. I was hoping there would be a gold stone here. There we go. Now I can get the flame tongue. Damn. All right. We're just going to go ruin a fire staff. And what's the crit chance on you? 16. I'll see if I can find an item that'll convert that into fire damage. Time stop. Ah, treasure chest. Yeah, we got the Inferno Blade. That's cold and energy. I want fire. That gives me these. That's not the fire damage, so that's worthwhile. Yeah, I already have more weapons than that, and the flame upgrade version requires you to use 1 weapon. So it isn't worthwhile. Fire-based melee weapons. I think I can fit that in. And that I might be able to do something with. All right. You know what? I think better to make that. There we go. That's now got a bigger projectile size. And once these combine, I can throw this in there and that'll get a huge boost in damage. And we'll add a little cold damage. Can do as well, shift these around. Just re-enchant that. Yep. Nothing worthwhile there. I think the dynamite would be more powerful if I had multiple going out, so additional projectiles. But I'm sort of a melee build. All right. Yeah, the health regeneration per fire tag up to a maximum of 5. So then add those. Temporarily snag that. And grab that. That is actually useless. I don't have anything that is blunt or slashing at this point. It's mostly fire with a little bit of cold and lightning. We're going to keep those separate. The elemental wand is big and bulky and doesn't fit in nicely. There we go. That's one of the items I'm looking for. Yeah, it's better for cold weapons because I have lots of fire tags. kind of run through the crowd. So I have plenty of dashes. Just scoop up some extra gold. There we go. All right, we're gonna actually drop one of the rings of health and snag this. And I'm gonna switch its position with the lucky coin. Up the enemy count. Ah, it's energy-based weapons. Doesn't help me. Yeah. I'm gonna snag that and make another Blazing Soul pendant. Need just one more flame potion. Damn. Alright. Going back in. Snag that cooldown altar so I can try and get rid of some of these guys a little faster. As the Orc Mage Lord has spawned. Yeah, we're going to try to avoid damage and get some healing. Yeah, just clear out enemies, let my regen do some work. Need to get some more fire stuff so that my Blazing Soul Pendant actually starts healing me a lot. Dodged into that one shot. This is not good. There's also some phoenix feathers that hopefully, if I can survive this fight with the Mage Lord, I can pick up the next shop, which is like, again, just straight health regen per fire tag, and I'm leaning heavy into the fire right now. Almost got him. There we go. Burn damage took care of him. Oh. I'm gonna take the risk, get Timeline Duplicator, and dupe whatever the next relic is. So I've got rerolls that I can use, try and get something good. Now wait. Make sure I grab those coins. Excellent. I'm going to drop this for a moment, and that for a moment. I can actually leave that on. Yeah. Do the fire tags have to be... Yeah, I should be getting a lot more health regen than that. Should be getting the max of 5. Oh no, per 5 fire tags. Okay. Never mind. Once I get the second one going, it will definitely boost my health regen. Not any of the weapons I'm using. That's holy damage, which I'm not doing. Void is very powerful. Yes. Because the wand here and the dynamite are both fire ranged weapons. So half their or reduce their cooldown by 50% and give them 2 extra projectiles is useful. All right, I should have enough for it. All right, time to do a little bit of rearranging. Okay, now my enemies are affected by both burn and slow from the ethereal shuriken. Yeah, we're just going to drop those to get that. And boost the cold damage a little more. there's the phoenix feather. That is better than the helmet. And we're going to dump the boots as well. Now have 21 health regen because I have 15 fire tags. So every few seconds I will get more fire or more health due to having lots of fire tags. All right, before I hit the store, I want to see if I can find a treasure chest or something else because right now anything I would want is going to be very expensive. Lots of healing. Nope, no treasure chests. All right. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to roll for a bunch of stuff. Um, drop the ring of health, reduce cooldown, and up the base damage. Dragon Mask is health, spike, and fire damage. I do like having the extra dash. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with the stuff I've got for now, even though the Dragon Mask might be good. If the Dragon Mask is not purple, it can go to hell. All right. Yeah, the Dragon Mask is only blue. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the luck, get a little bit more fire damage going. All right. Continue diving into the melee. Oh, there's a treasure chest. We're gonna activate this. Just kind of scoop up as much gold as I can. And dive into the shop. Because I can. I'm going to add in another stick of dynamite. Actually, thinking about it, that is a better use of this projectile count and cooldown reduction. Is that the upgraded view? No, that's electric energy and fire ring. Or lightning and fire. There we go. Drop that. Continue boosting the cold damage on this guy. Might as well do it again. So it's now doing 52 to 64 damage because of this. That is cold and fire tag on both. Huh. Ah, damn, I don't have enough. So I'm going to hold off rolling any more. Next shop, if I get another shop before the boss, I will pick that up. There we go. Boss hadn't even fully spawned in. Sell that. Get the ring, and it will boost the molten or the Inferno blade. I will think about that. Eclipse Hood is void damage. Ooh. Up fire. It's not enough to be worthwhile. Nope. Alright. If I can get over 300 gold, the Ring of Greed gives me an extra 25% damage. I gotta remember that when I'm shopping. Alright. A few seconds before the boss spawns, we'll dive in here. Considering that still, but I will replace temporarily. Go like this. That's not what I need. Ooh, we got a couple purples. Hypersonic ring. Eh. And so is the Wrathful Chestplate. We get Dark Flowers for Void Weapons. Too bad I didn't get anything for Fire or Cold. You know what? If we survive the boss, I will guarantee myself a epic weapon in the shop. I have 2 potions of healing, or pots of healing on the field, so I should be good. Plus, with all my fire tags, I've got a bunch of health regen. And I'm almost up to 300 gold. There we go. Now I'm doing 25% more damage. And boss dealt with. Alright, I get 2 of these, so I'm going to make sure I pick a good one. Neither of them are good. All fire-based weapons cause burn damage, and it'll be an extra 60% fire damage. We're just going all in on the fire. Actually gonna hold off going into the shop. Actually, doesn't really matter. I'll just freeze the epic weapon if it's something good. If only you were fire damage. Gonna freeze it anyway, just because I know there's relics that turn things into fire damage. That would be a nice one to pair with a relic that does fire damage. Yeah. Oh, the Godslayer Bone Scythe. Uh, Additional base damage per enemy count. Up to 1,000 extra. Oh. I don't have any, so it's not really useful. That is powerful. For headgear. up to 1,000 extra damage per unique tag, or up 10% damage per unique tag. Wow. That is a very powerful weapon that would be really cool to have, but not on this run. Snag the chest. Barely got any gold out of that chest. At least the magnetized altar gave me something. If I had energy melee weapons, that would be good. Ignition crossbow. That is actually better than the wand of fire runes. Let's see if I can squeeze that in. I could use another one of these blaze even rings. All right. And I'm actually going to charge that with at least the one. Could go. That. There we go. Yeah. Elemental wand would be very powerful because I'm doing a lot of fire and lightning. It's just hard to squeeze in. Or fire and frost, not lightning. Bottle Genie converts to lightning, not fire. That's energy damage. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till I have some more gold before I head to the shop. Guarantees a legendary at the next shop. We're gonna take that. Fixed range weapons. The penetration stat of 3. Enemies hit at the initial projectile, split 3 additional projectiles, 70% of the damage. Wow. What was that? 10 of 3. Only really affect the ignition crossbow, which doesn't have a pen. Yeah. The ethereal shuriken it would affect, splitting it off into 3 additional shurikens. Yeah, I think I'll save that for a different run. Still nothing good. I want to try and get to at least 1,000 gold by the time the next shop spawns. Or at least before I enter the next shop. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to. That might get me close. All right. Sparking Tempest. Damn. Oh well. That's 15 damage. I think I'm going to sell that. Finally pick this up. Just because I'm going to focus more on the fire damage than the uh, cold damage. All right, I'm going to take a risk here. Kind of rearrange stuff and get another Blazing Soul pendant. Crit chance plus 35. Eh. Don't have high enough crit on really any of these to make that worthwhile. Alright. Alright, 23 seconds for the boss to spawn. I'm not going to kill enough enemies to get the shop to spawn, but should last long enough to uh, finish off the boss. Yeah, there's a good chance I will melt the mountain moose. Yeah. Just blowing chunks out of him. There we go. Mountain Moose Lord defeated. I don't do holy. I'm gonna reroll. Don't do bleed. We're going Curse of Glory. Everything's going to be an elite enemy, but I do 100% more damage, and I've got 100% luck. It's only for the final boss, so... Got a bunch of gold. Yeah, at this point, going to snag the crown here. Don't need the lucky coin. That ups my fire damage and just gives me a straight plus 14 to base damage. Drop the sword. That's lightning weapons. This is cold and fire. So I can drop that. Grab another one of those. You know what? Because I have the space, we're just going to throw another stick of dynamite in there. And I'm actually going to drop a cold tag just to get the extra boost of damage from this. It's just an extra 25% damage. Just in case. Yeah. All right. we're just gonna go into the final boss. Let's see if we can beat the final boss with mostly fire damage. Burn out the corruption. Oh yeah, it's just melting. There we go. So I have now successfully beaten Hellfire 2. And I can add a iron dagger to my starting equipment. Ooh. Don't think... Nope. Didn't get any achievements. Actually... We're just gonna keep going along this path. Let's... That's armor and shields. I think that would be better. Yeah, I'll grab these here. Up my health and armor a little bit. I got 36. Could get some more relic rerolls. Or banishments. Starting gold. Need 50 for that. 75 for that. Alright. I'm gonna snag some more relic rerolls to hopefully get good relics at the start. I'm gonna drop the wooden sword and add the iron dagger to my starting. That way I have a little more space at the beginning. And we're going in for Hellfire 3. Yeah. Magical daggers are amazing if you can get them early. Which I will get one at the first shop. So I'm going to focus energy damage this run. And I'm out of rerolls. Alright. Definitely want those to spawn. Just snag that. Going to freeze this because pickup range and extra coin chance is nice, plus luck if I get high enough. And I'm going to freeze that because I'm going to be looking for... Ooh. So many goodies. Okay. We need to beat this guy up. Yeah. I need projectile count and uh, energy damage. Okay. Start off with getting bag space and picking up the dagger. All right. I need about 200 gold when the next shop spawns. Probably not going to get it. But I'm going to snag all of this. I want those so I get extra magical daggers going. Freeze that and that. Nothing. All right. Right now I've got plenty of armor to resist the damage they deal, so I should have been doing this from the start. Okay, something there can injure me. Going to snag that, and the leather bag. Damn, no more energy tags. We're just gonna see if we can get all magic daggers, I guess. Okay, it's the frogs that can hurt me. I gotta remember, I don't have health regen. Come on. Yeah, I also gotta be careful when the boss spawns that I have plenty of dodges to get away from him. Snag this. I'm hoping the epic weapon I get is good. Or rare weapon. Oh yeah. Void Cane is nice. And I'm going to immediately buy the Void Stone to make the Void Staff. And in final Iron Dagger. Arcane Rebirth. I will consider that once I'm done upgrading my Iron Daggers. Come on, I just need one more. Read. I think the upgrade to that is good, so I will also eventually do that once I'm done upgrading the Iron Daggers. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna freeze that. Next time I come into the shop, I'll just dump the one Iron Dagger. And we'll see if Arcane Conduit is any good. And here comes the Beetle Beast Lord. Grab the power altar. There we go. Come on. There we go. The magical daggers do melt him quite nicely. That's not going to work for me. When you kill an enemy, you have 5% chance to reset the cooldown of a single dash. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right. Just get right into the first shop. Yeah, so that's 15 cold and energy. That's super useful. We're gonna just dump that. Grab that set of magical daggers. And because I have the energy tags, that is super useful. Okay. I'm going to keep the Amulet of Pure Luck the way it is for now, but I may upgrade it. Yeah, I might as well make another one of those. This is what I was looking for on the last run. That would have been great. Snag the Forgotten King's crown. Some more energy tags. And we'll finish out my inventory space. I am all duplicate weapons, so that's not helpful. I've got 4 out of my 5 weapons are duplicates. Same thing there. I will take that because I will stick it on the Void Staff. That's not worth it. Also freeze you. Alright. Now just have to survive through the next shop. Nice and easy. Just snag that. There we go. And another ring formed. Yep, that's all me gold. And dealt with him. Now I just need to up the projectile count on my daggers. And then I'd really start burning through things. Oh, I will lock that because it is good. Don't do anything with blunt. That's for fire. You know what? I'm curious as to what the stone greatsword upgrades to with a whole bunch of energy stuff attached to it. So I'm going to take the risk and see what I get. Just gotta end these guys as quickly as possible. And the next shop is here. Arcane Blade is all energy damage. I get 1% crit chance per tag. So up to 100. Might as well. Snag that. And lock that. That's for lightning. I'm going to sell that just to keep the Void Caller staff because that is powerful. I forget what helmet that gives me. Arcane Dynamo. Energy-based ranged weapons, that's 3 of them. You know what? I will freeze that as well. Alright. Okay, the Arcane Blade is cool. I just need to keep reducing the cooldown on it as much as possible. Dive into the shop. Yeah, so that's just the daggers that are really getting affected by that. But the range will affect those things as well. Oh yeah, base damage per energy tag. Definitely want that. I'm gonna snag another one of these. Yeah, because now I'm at like a 50% or just over 50% crit chance. Snag that. All right. This is a build I think I can be stationary for if it wasn't for the ranged guys. Yeah. If I had health regen, I might be able to do this with a stationary build. But too many ranged enemies. Hoping to get another shot before the boss spawns. But I don't know. There we go. Might get two depending on how lucky I am. Nope, don't have piercing based. Take me 10 shops to pay that off. 10% luck really isn't worth it. That could be good. I really don't want to give up all of the bonus damage I have. I'm almost curious to see. We'll sacrifice 10% damage just to see what the talisman I get out of that does. Probably won't help my build, but it's at least worth a shot. We're going to sacrifice that. Get a little bit more energy damage. And some speed and cooldown reduction. Now, that makes an Inferno Blade. Don't need it. Oh, blunt. Ooh. Void is... Defiler's Void Star. That turns everything into void damage. I'm not doing a void damage build. Lightning, blunt, blunted slashing. Spike for arcane shield, or for energy tags. Eh. Oh, speaking of cooldown reduction, we're gonna move the key to the arcane blade. That way it's benefiting from it, getting the most cooldown it can. Alright. Just waiting for the boss to spawn at this point. Snag the chest. And the Orc Mage Lord is here. Just snag all of that. And he's defeated. Not doing fire tag, so fire shield doesn't help me. I'm not doing blunt damage, so the other one doesn't help me. Yeah, we're going Merchant's Blessing. Because that is super powerful. That gives me 2 extra slots unlocked. Yeah, I don't need this talisman. As I get more bag space unlocked, I will just kind of shift things around. That's holy, that's holy. Dodge chance and dashes. Holy. Okay, let me try and reorganize my bags a little bit to fit this big guy in. Stick that in. Definitely snagging that ring. This. Definitely fit that in there. That there. Gotta have a tiny bag somewhere. There we go. Perfect. Grab that. That's holy. Ring of Greed is another arcane conduit. Super useful. That's Mana Guardian. Yeah. Arcane Rebirth. 1 health regen, 5% energy damage. Ooh. So I'm just going to real quick make a second one of those. 'Cause that is super good. That'll get me a bunch of health regen. All energy weapons. Yes, I definitely want to add you to this mix. Can't reroll anymore. Already spawned the next store. This is shaping up to be a powerful run. Alright, got 12 health regen. And lots of energy damage. We're just gonna keep cranking that energy damage up. I think that would get me another one of these arcane forged plates. Nah, I'm more looking for the belts. I'll start dropping these lesser bands of fury for rune cord powers, belts of power. Snag this. Lots of money for the next shop. Definitely going to snag this. Just swap those. Actually, I think also, I mean, 2 of these runic cords of power would be better than these gloves, but the gloves are better than the helmet. Drop those. $219 and a minimum, and 184 to minimum on the daggers. Crazy. Look. Another arcane conduit ring. Doing 400 plus damage on every attack. Probably actually going to drop the Void Caller staff if I can get probably another the stuff for an arcane blade. We'll keep a couple of these on hand. There we go. Drop that and the ring. Grab another arcane blade. Yeah. Nah. The cord belts are best. That is projectile count, though. I think I'll stick with what I've got. Just need to spawn the next shop. And I'll have another arcane blade. Perfect. And I have the space for a runic cord of power. Yep, we're gonna drop that and snag another one of these pendants. Not worth getting the random weapon. Okay, we're selling the lucky coin. I got health regen at 24 already. Nope. All right. just need to fill my inventory now with those belts, and a couple of those, more of those amulets wouldn't hurt. That are giving me life regen. And then I can probably beat the Hellfire 3 boss already. No amulets are built. Not worth it. Nope. Nothing this time. Minute left. Now that's the fire belt. Yeah, that is excellent. Now I have 30 life regen. Drop that, stuff that there, that there. Actually, that's a 30% cooldown reduction on 2 of my, plus 10 to my ranged. Never mind. Not as good as the engine or the cord belt. For the next 2 spots, I think I'm just gonna run around, or actually, for the rest of this level and the next one, I'm just gonna run around and ignore the shop. I'll blow through the rest of the money re-rolling in the final boss area. Melted. every attack in a random direction, my stuff just spins around me, so that's just helpful. I'm just gonna look for chests. Five minutes, run around, loot everything I can. Melt the boss, hopefully. Hopefully get some good stuff. Don't need the time stop. Evaporate so quick. If I wasn't using magic daggers, that one belt would have been good. It would have reduced the cooldown by 20% for all my melee weapons. Energy-based melee weapons, which are the stone greatswords, the arcane greatswords here. Got a minute 30 left. Ouch. Just gonna take a peek. Oh, yeah. Energy range up to projectile count. That could be good. Range. Base damage plus 3, pen 3, up to projectile count. Oh, what? I'm going to drop that and snag that. And I can get rid of you. You. That one. There we go. least 500 kills on a weapon, 20 crit, 75% damage. Drop that because I think all of my weapons have 500 kills at this point. No. One of my daggers doesn't, but everything else does. But it will get there quickly. So that's just a huge damage boost. 61% chance to crit with that, and 90% crit chance on the Arcane Blade. That's crazy. Oh, I forgot I have an open slot. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, a second one of these would be amazing. I could also drop the Forgotten King's crown for one as well. Lightning. Nope. Can't reroll anymore. Alright. Nope. Nope. Oh, I missed a bell. Damn. Oh well. Whoops. Ran right into that spell. Seconds till the boss. Got a relic altar. That's awesome. I don't want that. Yeah, let's get triple loot. Or a 10% chance for triple loot. Because nothing is surviving. And here comes the moose. And dead. You gotta love it when the enemies melt quickly. Go for one last reroll here. You know what? I'll heal for 5% of my max health whenever I dash. I've got 3 dashes. Alright. Nope. Nope. Yeah, these are all void stuff and fire. Stuff I needed last run. you. Oh, that would have been an amazing last run. A lava core band. I'm gonna snag that belt just because if I get something else, it might be worthwhile. It's cold damage. Yeah, the +3 base damage I think is still better than the weapon range and projectile count. No, that's not what I want. Nope. Alright. Junk that stuff. And let's go in. I suspect I shall melt the Void Corruption again. There we go. Got the Seed of Ingenuity unlocked. Bunch of Titan Souls. Yeah, that Arcane Blade was doing a ton. 559 damage per second is amazing. Magical daggers weren't bad as well. 3 of them compared to 2 of the other one. I should have just made a whole bunch of Arcane Blades, to be honest. Alright, well, I think this is a good place to need to call it a night, so I thank you all for coming. I hope you had a good time, and if you did, I'll be live again on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time playing some Battletech with the BTA mod. If you enjoyed what you saw, you can follow the links below. The YouTube link will take you to my YouTube, which is an archive of my older stuff, and the Twitter will take you to my Twitter, where I occasionally shitpost. Otherwise, y'all have a good night.